Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode / review with me. I'm Wes.
I'm Victor.
And we're going to talk about episode 6 from Teresa with Love. Ooh-wee! This episode was really, really good. And again, I am so thankful to MTV for still, after 36 seasons, doing this show because it is thebomb.com. Another show that I love, or have been loving on a lot lately, is RuPaul's Drag Race. So that comes on today. Sorry we're getting this review to you a little late. I was out of town in New York getting some work done, trying to expand the WatchACTV.com brand and, you know, get some more awareness to be about the site.
And I was at home missing him, waiting for him to come home. And I literally was sitting up in the room thinking about you.
What happened last week?
Oh, you can't remember. You mean all the parties we had last week?
No. Somebody got kicked off. Who got kicked off? The chick, Tori. Tori got kicked off last week because Anissa kicked her off. And for a second, it was like, I don't know, is Tori going to win? Is Tori going to catch up? But Anissa ends up winning. Shout out to Anissa. She is super dope. And I was watching a lot of the behind the scenes conversations and interviews regarding that. And Anissa and Tori are still friends. Okay, good. They're still cool. Tori said that she would have wanted to lose to someone like Anissa because Anissa is great. That's nice. And so all of them are good. I also found out that the drone challenge that they did or whatever have you, they got what you call it? They got to train with the drone before the challenge.
And they still were not bad.
And so it's very interesting how you get to see these interviews, and you know, Devin is the one that kind of pulled the cat out the bag about it, and Nelson was like, "Oh, why'd you tell?" Everybody was like, "Why'd you say that?"
Yeah, I bet they did. Say that.
Because there is a script to this. I'm starting to realize there is certain things that they have to do to make sure that the players are ready to go, and at the same time, the players don't want to tell the audience, so they do have to give a little act.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be no more than that. Okay, give us a briefing of what the challenge is going to be like, but I don't want this whole thing to end up being like a fake
reality TV show.
But suffice it to say, Devin is a rogue agent, and you're just getting back to the house. Fessy is upset that he has Anissa back. Teresa, come to find out that Teresa, Anissa's #1, knew that Tori and Anissa were going to go in the ring together to have to fight and compete. And Teresa didn't say anything to Anissa. Do you think that that's cool? Do you think that that's okay?
I mean, honestly, it is a game. You know, if you have specific alliances, then you have the specific alliances, and you're supposed to hold to those. So if you break the alliances where they say, if I hear your name, I'll let you know, blah 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 blah. Now, if you don't do that, all you're doing is period point blank saying, hey, this is where my alliance lies, and you have to take it as that. And you know, that's my own thought process. A lot of these guys think that these people in here are their friends, and they're just simply not their friends. They are acquaintances that will cut them, slice them, and dice them to get a hit. Period.
Nani talks to Cam and Lolo about how iffy Teresa is, or how iffy Teresa can be. And Nani and Teresa have this long history. They're vets. They've been in the challenge for a very long time, since before all these rookies have come about. And Nani's just letting all the girls know. Cam, it puts a bug in Cam's ear, and it puts a bug in Lolo's ear. So Lolo goes and talks to Teresa to see why she's playing the game the way she's playing it, or if Lolo is on her radar, or whatever the case may be. What did you think about this conversation?
To me, I felt like it was, if I'm remembering correctly, you're talking about when
they were at the kitchen, and Lolo was talking to Teresa, and Teresa was like, well, you know, this is how I play the game, and, you know, I'm not going to backstab Anissa, but, you know, whatever. And Lolo was getting a little heated, and so was Teresa.
Yeah, I think that Lolo handled it well by walking away. I think that was the best thing, what I took away from that, because she was the one standing up, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fact that she just got up and walked away. She's like, hey, you know what? If you're going to give me an attitude, I'm going to give you an attitude right back. I think she handled that very well. You know, not to bring up Josh, but if it would have been, that kind of situation with him and anybody else, that would have been like a huge explosion. Security would have came in the room and all of this and that and the other. So,
I think they handled it like as best as adults could be.
I think ready to go.
I think what's really interesting about the dynamic between the challengers and the Big Brother people, they're all doing the same thing. They're all lying and betraying the people that they say that they care about just to get ahead. It happens more on Big Brother than it does on the challenge.
Could you do that?
Would I do what?
Could you do that?
Could I do what?
Like backstab somebody just to get ahead? Like on the challenge?
No, if we're partners or if we're in the same alliance, I'm not gonna lie to your face and tell you that you're not going in and you actually go in. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of player. And in Big Brother, I wouldn't have done that because I would have been in an alliance, and whoever I was in with an alliance, we just would have been riding it through together. So it's one of those situations where it's like, I don't understand why people play like that. But not all people. Don't lick that. No, don't lick that. But not all people play like that. But it does happen, it does happen. And it just sucks that Corey is getting betrayed by people that he considered to be friends. But without getting ahead, Leo talks to Nani and says that he is wanting to leave the show. He says that this experience is like him living in a group home. And he says it was traumatizing to him back when he was in the group home, waking up to people that you don't know, waking up in a confined situation where you can't really necessarily leave. So I could see the similarities to it being like a group home. He spoke to his wife. They showed this clip where he spoke to his wife about it, and his wife seemed to, or appeared to have been crying or whatever. And I exchanged like a few sentences with Leo on Instagram. I was told that he was a great guy, so I should hit him up. He seems to be a great guy. He is a great guy on the show. I think he's dope. For you to realize that whatever situation that you're in is not the best situation for you to be in, I think it's commendable for you to decide to leave the situation before it gets worse.
So, I agree with every single thing that you said, 150%. When I was in a space that was, anyway, they told me that if you find yourself in a negative space and it's just, you just don't want to be in that space, move, shift, go somewhere else. Now, on the flip side to that, it's like, okay, have you watched the show? Have you seen how you're going to have to live? Have you seen the conditions that you're going to be living in? Did you see what your sleeping quarters are going to be like? Like, did you do any history in regards to the show to know what the show is like and giving before you went on the show? If you didn't, then shame on you. And then secondly, if you did, then maybe you just thought that it was going to be different than what you expected.
You never know what to expect if you've never done any kind of situation before. So it's like for people that have never been on a cruise, I can tell them all day that a cruise is phenomenal. A cruise is this, a cruise. Like, you had never been on a cruise and you had these mixed feelings about a cruise because you saw the Titanic and you thought the boat was going to sink and whoop-de-whoop and yada, yada, yada. You threw all that in the mix. When you finally went on the cruise, you had a good time and you wanting to go back on the cruise. Hold on. But it could have been the adverse effect. Like, it could have been horrible for you. It could have been a horrible experience. It may have not been the best for you. I only say that to say that you can never really gauge what something is going to be like until you go through the experience.
I agree 150%.
But
there's no but.
Whatever. Anyways, shout out to Leo. I think he's dope. I found out some information because while I was away, I still get all like the tweets and stuff like that. And I saw a couple videos. Leo had said that everything that had happened, like, they didn't show everything that went down with his like going away package. He said that he kind of cried watching it, but there were moments where like everybody knew it wasn't just a Gabby and a Nani thing, but like everybody knew that he was thinking about leaving, and he was like packing the stuff in the mix of that. He had said that Leo and everybody was like cracking jokes like he's not leaving. But then when he finally decided to leave, that they were all like shocked that he left. So everybody knew that he was leaving. It wasn't just a Nani and a Gabby like they showed on TV.
Yeah.
But kudos to Leo for doing what he felt was best for him. The mission is called Smuggle Run. They have to run a race of 5 miles, get to 3 checkpoints, and make it to the end, carrying what appeared to be like this long. I don't know if it was heavy plastic or metal. I don't know what the material was, but it looked very uncomfortable. There were no grips or handles on it. It was just something, and everybody felt like they had to carry it over their shoulders. I don't feel like they had to carry it like that. Literally, I feel like watching it, I feel like you can either, one person could carry it from their back like this, and the other person holds it from their front, and they're running like that. But I don't know. Maybe it was slippery. I don't know.
I'm sure it probably was all of those, but you're talking 5 miles. So if you think a mile, for a fast sprinter, typically, or not fast sprinter, for a long distance runner, a mile takes like a good record or good pace is 5 to 8 minutes for a mile, and you're doing that. It was 5 times. You're doing that 5 times. So they're literally holding this for the entire time. Mile after mile after mile, and after you hold something for so many minutes, you're like with the ice bucket challenge on Watch ACTV's Zodiac Wars, when they were outside holding the ice, extended time. It's not really all that, but the thing of ice isn't that heavy, but you got a few different elements. You got the ice that's cold, you got your arms linking up, and then you got the little gnats that are flying around hitting your face. Now they were in cold weather, so they didn't have to deal with any of that, but they've got the mud, they've got the hills, they've got the river, which I thought was the meanest thing to make them go through. Like, you guys are really gonna make them go through a river and it's cold? Okay, cool. So, they have to, like, you gotta go here, because you know what I'm saying? Imagine holding this like this.
I know they were switching. Like I just didn't see anybody holding it down. And I couldn't understand why they weren't doing that. That just didn't make sense to me. But again, I wasn't there, so it is what it is. But like, who's gonna do this for 5 miles? Like, you're not gonna be able to do that. I know that. Like, ain't no way in hell you're gonna hold your arm up the whole time for 5 miles. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know if that was like some rule or something. I don't know, but
monkey see, monkey do.
It was very interesting that Jay and Teresa made it to the end. But noticeably, we had Ashley and Corey, KILLA KAM and Leroy, Darrell, Amber, B were some heavy hitters that made it in like the top 5, top 6. And I thought that was really cool. I would look at Amber B and be like, nah, she's not a heavy hitter. But Ashley and Cam, it is what it is.
Cam is a beast.
Yes, she is.
Ashley's a beast too.
And she is. And I love Ashley. A lot of people don't for whatever reason, but I love Ashley. I was explaining to Vic that I don't know why everybody's so butthurt over Ashley, like she's some conniving, like sneaky female bananas. She's not. Every game that she's played a legit game with her alliance members and the people that she considered to be her friends. And that's where I think the core root value lies in a player. I think that's super dope. And the reason why she backstabbed Hunter, first off, they were never friends. They were never an alliance. They may have technically been partners, but throughout that whole partnership with Hunter, he berated her, talked poorly about her family, talked poorly about her, called her all sorts of names. There was no partnership. And in that show, you had to be pitted up with your worst enemy. Yeah. And that's what it was. So I get why she took the money from him. It is what it is. But, people have their energy towards Ashley for whatever reason. I think Ashley's great. Any thoughts on the race?
I respect Ashley because she definitely does have the push to do whatever it is that she wants to do. She's no chump. She's not scared. She's like, let's go. I do think that should I not go ahead?
Keep going.
Okay. I do think that
Is that the next point?
Yeah. I don't think that I don't think that she was ready for what happened to her tonight.
Yeah.
I don't think she was ready for that.
Yeah.
I think that she really and truthfully thought she had it in the bag and that she was good and that she had talked her way out of it. But one thing that I was saying to you earlier is that if you pay attention, the people who do the most talking, they literally go in. So the best thing to do is
she knew she was going in.
She did.
At that point, she knew she was going in.
But her and Cam both were talking.
Let's rewind tape. Let's not go to the end.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Lolo says jog, and Nam is like, why? So throughout the whole race, Lolo is trying to communicate with Nam, and they're having issues in their communication. Lolo had shoulder surgery, which again, I don't know why they felt like they had to keep it up there, but whatever. Clearly, they were bumping heads, and it just wasn't working out. Go ahead.
So she made a really good point. She's like, "Hey, you know what, Nam? I am a team player. Like, this is what I do. Is I'm a team player. But I think that there's some deeper situations going on between the two of them. Because didn't she like Nam at first?
She thought she was attractive.
Yeah. So as I thought, Nam wasn't interested in her, and so now they're having to work together and do all these things together, and you know, all that other energy that she was giving wasn't received the way she wanted to be received, and he didn't want it. Now he has.
But
to
you
work
made a
with
point that when you know she's an Olympic medalist winner, so it's like at that point. No, what you said earlier was that he should have like listened to her.
I do agree with that too.
Right. So I mean, I'm in that same boat. Like, there comes to a point where, okay, yeah, you know you're about to lose, or you know you've lost, you're upset. Okay, you got to fill out your partner. Like throughout the whole challenge, y'all having a bad race. I initially thought it was funny, but then when Lolo said her point, I got where she was coming from, because she wanted to finish strong, and she's an Olympian, and you know, athletes they don't want to have a horrible finish. They want to finish strong. So I got it. I don't know. At that point, when they were having the conversation, like, oh, maybe we need to not be partners or whatever, I'm like, your chance is going to come up where you can switch partners, so you can definitely do that.
So I want to throw some encouragement real quick. So a lot of times I feel as though when you're working, you're pushing towards something, you're pushing towards a goal. Like with these guys, they're pushing towards the finish line. Yeah, you're tired. Yeah, you're gassed out. Yeah, you don't feel like going on anymore. But at the end of the day, you know that you're going to finish. You know that you're going to make it. So in that, give it absolutely every single thing that you got, because you see the finish line, you see where you're going. You just have to push just a little harder to get there, and that's what she wanted him to do, but he refused to do it because he's like, we're losing already. It's not about your placement, it's about your finish. As long as you finish and you finish strong, that's all that matters.
Ashley goes to talk to Teresa because she already knows what's up. Ashley been doing this for a long time. There are moments where Ashley can get paranoid, but her paranoia is usually right. And so again, it's right.
It is.
She goes to Teresa, and Teresa has this list of names, like she's trying to figure out who she wants to give the A grade to or an F grade to, like she's some professor. And Ashley is just like caught off guard. Right away, Ashley knows what's up. It is what it is. Everyone is asking Jay, is he gonna put them in? And Jay is telling people, no, you're good, no, you're good, no, you're good. Fessy flirts with Gabby. I don't give a damn. I don't really care about Fessy.
Gabby ain't interested in you. She maybe you're going to be a vote that doesn't go against her because you like her, but she said clearly in the thing, hey, if he wasn't talking to me, I wouldn't be talking to him. She's not interested in you. So leave it alone. You guys are supposed to be focusing on your game. You're not focusing on your game.
Down, baby. Down.
You're too busy trying to get your stuff wet that you're getting clouded and confused.
Teresa is going around to everyone about putting Ashley in, and she doesn't go to Ashley, of course. Ashley sees this because she's not dumb, and she goes and says, you're talking to everybody but not me.
But not me.
Ashley, you know what's going on, sis. You know what's going on. Teresa has a conversation about Cam, or to Cam, telling her that if Cam sees something that she actually wants to go in, she'll let her go in and get her red skull.
And I thought that was nice.
Cam is looking at her like, what is this? What's going on? Cam ain't stupid either. At the end of the day, Teresa wants to get rid of Cam, Nani, or Ashley. Any one of them are fine because they're competition.
At least she's not prejudiced.
Anyways.
But Cam was looking at her, I'm looking at her, Cam's looking at her, and her eyes like, bitch, if you do this to me, I gotta get my red skull, but if you do this to me, I'm gonna beat your ass. I promise you I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna haunt you and your kids.
Corey talks to, stay right there, baby, stay. Corey talks to Jay about going in. Jay says, no, you're not going in. Everyone is shocked because Ashley and Corey is thrown in, but TJ did the funniest thing ever where he kind of acted like the boys were going to go in. Everybody lost their crap. At least, even Ashley pointing middle fingers up at the crowd.
Right.
But TJ played them, and it was like, the boys are going to have to watch their partners from the sidelines.
Boy,
I was like, oh, that was crazy. Everyone, KILLA KAM is activated. KILLA KAM is put in. Teresa goes against what she said that she was going to do with Cam, throws Cam in anyway, and KILLA KAM is activated. Shout out to Cam for that look in her interview, baby. She was looking sexy.
Yeah, I don't even like that, but I said, God, dog, Cam was cute.
Cam is a beautiful chick. Cam is a beautiful chick.
No disrespect, Leroy. No disrespect.
KILLA KAM is activated, and KILLA KAM wins.
She does.
She gets her footing. She tries to figure out what's going on because they raised her up a little bit to where her feet was like dangling on her toes. So she was looking a little loose for a second. But she figured out her footing and she made it happen. Ashley usually gets scatterbrained, especially when she's blindsided and she doesn't know really what to do. Like, she can't compose herself and relax. It takes her a long time to do that. So I already saw she was getting frustrated because she was blindsided. But KILLA KAM stayed focused and she got the win. Nobody in the house respects Jay and Teresa's decision, and I can't wait to see the backlash next episode.
Ashley had to go, and somebody had to get Ashley out the house. Who was gonna do it? What's the black girl's name from the UK?
Big T.
Big T wasn't gonna do it. Who was gonna do it? Somebody.
Well, Big T is cool with Ashley, so she wasn't gonna do that.
Right, but she wasn't gonna do it. Period. Okay, Ashley would have stayed in the house.
Yeah,
which would have been completely pointless.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think the thing is Teresa doesn't have any alliance people at all. Like, the only person she has is her partner. She doesn't have any of the girls on her side except for maybe Anissa. But again, Teresa knew that Anissa was going in with Tori and she didn't say anything. So it's just like
loyal.
She's not loyal at all.
She's a self person.
What do you guys think about what went down? Again, sorry for the late review, but I'm back in town. I don't have any travel plans in the near future. But shout out to everybody that's traveling and getting their life and not staying stuck in the house because of COVID. Shout out to everybody that's smart and understand how this particular situation is working. You don't have to go any and everywhere, and you just have to know who you have around you. I'm not saying that it's impossible for anybody to get. I'm not saying, anything like that, but you don't have to stay trapped in the house is all I'm saying. But I don't have any travel plans for the rest of the year because
I do.
This stuff is happening, so.
Tentatively.
But anyways, write your comments below. Let us know what you thought. And thank you guys for tuning in to our review.
Absolutely, guys. And make sure that you are subscribed and a member of WatchACTV.com. We want to hear from you. Give us your feedback. So download the app and leave us a review, and a 5-star review at that. Love you guys. Bye.
I can't believe I'm here with you both. I've read so much about you in the news over the years.
Oh, good things, I hope.
No, not at all. How's your son doing?
Look, we're not here to talk about my son, but he's graduating soon. So that's how my son is doing.
Meow. Kitty has claws, I see.
And a gun. So don't fuck with me, Junior.
Okay. Mrs. Del Colombo, how are things going with your husband?
Fine.
He isn't still in hiding, is he?
Yeah, I can't do this.
Alexa, play Miami by Will Smith.